Stardom's 5-Star Grand Prix tournament just kicked off yesterday, and I got a chance to actually sit down and watch this show. And right off the bat, I gotta say, this was a great opening night for the tournament. It was just the type of thing you want to show a fan that will get them into the product, and if not even just into the product, at least somewhat into what they're about to see going forward. Now, as I stated before in my primer video, which you guys can check out, link in the description down below, the schedule is a bit weird. Like, they have certain days where it's a certain amount of matches, so there will be some days where I might combine the days into one review instead of doing day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. It may be like days 5 and 6 are combined, something like that, because of how many matches are in a day. And I feel like I don't want to waste my time doing a review of a 3, 2, or even a 1 match show. Like, that's a big waste in my opinion. But I know you guys have been really wanting some Stardom content, so I figured I would deliver with this 5-Star Grand Prix Day 1 review 2021. Probably should mention a year or two. Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Tyler Mask, aka Tyler-kun Williams, aka Suplex, that's SOOPLEX on TikTok, and SOOPLEXX on Twitch.tv, aka the one who lived. And guys, we are here. We're going to talk about 5-Star Grand Prix 2021. Like I said so far, just great shit I saw today. And let's start off this review with the very first match going into this tournament. Starting off Red Stars, we have Mina Shirakawa versus Gokigen Death. This was the weakest match on the show. It was, I mean, I really want to say it was okay, but honestly, I didn't even care for it at all. I mean, it had some roll-up counters, and I didn't care for it, honestly. I can't really even tell you much of what happened outside of Mina Shirakawa getting the roll-up victory over Death Yamasan. That was the finish. That's really all I can recall. And Mina Shirakawa starts off the tournament. Red Stars, 2 points. Good for her. After that, we segued into Natsupoi versus Koguma, also of Red Stars. This one was slightly better. I can't say it was, like, good. I want to say it was decent. Like, Koguma shocked me and surprised me because, and I'm going to try not to sound offensive here, she has a much thicker frame than Natsupoi, obviously. Natsupoi is very small, and Koguma is thicker than her. And I was not expecting the Koguma to be slow, but because Natsupoi is so fast, I'm like, can she keep up with her? And Koguma did a pretty good job of running around the ring and, you know, showing up with Natsupoi. Now, Natsupoi was obviously still very much faster than her, but not, you know, Koguma didn't fall too far behind. Now, once you got into that 2-minute mark, they started playing up a lot of comedy, which it's Stardom. There's always a fair share of comedy on the show at some point. Like, I've never seen a Stardom show where there's like zero comedy. It's all seriousness. Like, they always have that little playfulness embedded somewhere in the show, and I've come to, you know, got used to it, and I don't hate it, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes it's like I could do without it. Like, this was a match I felt like we could have done without the comedy, because Koguma went underneath the, you know, underneath the ring, running with Natsupoi, and Natsupoi would fall behind her. And then she would go on the other side of the ring, and Natsupoi's like, where is she? I wonder if she's underneath this ring. Let me go underneath the ring and check. And then she go underneath the ring, go on the other side. Koguma's like, I'm over here. And Natsupoi's like, doing a Christian pose. I don't see her. Let me go back underneath the ring. And then she got into the ring, and she's throwing a fit because she can't find her. Koguma rolled her up. She didn't get the pin, though, but that would have been even more stupid she did. And then they started doing roll-up counters, very much shades of Azumi versus Mei Hoshizuki from, I want to say, Osaka Dream Cinderella, which was last year, which is a really good match. Recommend you guys go watch that. But it was Koguma who got the pin over Natsupoi with a bridging German suplex for the 3 count, and that got her 2 points. That shocked the hell out of me. I thought it was going to Natsupoi, but hey, Koguma gets the win. High Speed Champion just got pinned in this, and you're going to see this trend a lot where champions got pinned. A little bit of a spoiler there, but champions, not a good night for them. This match was decent at best. It's not something I really would recommend, to be honest. But from here on out, we move into just utter greatness from Stardom. Going into one of the best matches of the night, Starlight Kid versus Giulia of Red Stars. I firmly believe that Starlight Kid had her best match yet earlier this year with Giulia, and I was wondering how this will compare, especially with Starlight Kid being a heel this time. Giulia, I feel like, has kind of got into this role where she's a tweener. Like, she's not a heel per se, unless she's facing a babyface. But when she's up against another heel, she could play a babyface role really well. And in this match, you know, SLK was the babyface in her last match, and I'm pretty sure she remembers her getting beat down. The mask got ripped off, basically. It was a very intense match. It had a very intense ending, and that really played into this match. And Starlight Kid was the aggressor, which I'm sure a lot of you are not used to. Starlight Kid was doing limb targeting, going over Giulia's knees for a lot of this match, and it put Giulia in this spot where she was the underdog. Like, she legitimately was fighting underneath of Starlight Kid, who, mind you, Starlight Kid is smaller than Giulia in size and in height. So I don't want to say a part of it is a bit unbelievable, but I think added with the edge that Starlight Kid has now, it worked. And it was just mesmerizing to see, but like I couldn't take my eyes off of it at the same time. And it was great. Giulia did such a great job in here. And when Giulia had her hope spot, Starlight Kid would kind of shut her back down. And it's like, Starlight Kid is going to win this. I was betting on her to win this match the way she was controlling it. But then as we see so much of wrestling, usually when the person is doing the limb targeting, that's building up for the person who's getting their, you know, leg beaten up or arm beaten up or whatever the case may be. The person who's on the aggression, that usually leads up to them, you know, coming back and winning the match. And we had some really great spots in here. I think one of my favorite ones was when SOK had Giulia on the top rope and hit this like roll through, it could have been a pin, like this roll through slam that could have been a roll up pin. It was so dope. I don't know why she didn't go for the pin right afterwards. She would have probably won the match, but she hesitated and didn't get it. She got cocky, then went for a moonsault, or she went for some splash. I think it was a moonsault, and Giulia caught her with her legs mid moonsault and locked her in this like STF submission, and she locked it and rinsed it in. I thought she was going to tap out, but that's okay. And it was funny because she was trying to reach for the rope and she was too short. So for like a solid 10 seconds, she's just kicking her feet and struggling to reach the rope. And you're like, is she going to tap out? I don't know if she's going to or not. But then she made the rope, and then they battled out for like, I think another solid minute. And then Giulia ended up hitting her Godzilla driver and got the pin. I mean, like I said, this was, bar none, in my opinion, one of the best matches of the night. Not the best, but one of the best. And this is definitely, I would say, a slightly better than the last match they had. I love this match a lot. I would recommend it. You guys definitely go check it out. But it didn't end here, because then we got into Blue Stars. Tam Nakano, the Wonder of Stardom champion, versus Unagi Sayaka. This match was insane. And it's not insane in terms of like, it was a 5-star classic where both people, you know, got their moves in. It was like incredible. Like, it wasn't that type of incredible, but it was incredible in the sense of like, I didn't expect the match to go the way it went, and it was laid out so differently, but yet it was executed so perfectly. This I can describe in so little words, gave me the essence of like teacher putting the student in her place. Because Tam Nakano is the leader of Cosmic Angels, and you know, Unagi is the lesser of the bunch. She has the least amount of experience. And like, Tam beat Unagi's ass for like 85% of this match was just Tam beating the shit out of Unagi. And I never seen Tam so aggressive in like my time seeing her wrestle. It was almost borderline Arisa Hoshiki levels of like, I don't want to say stoicism, because Arisa wasn't really stoic in her beatdown. She was almost, I would say, sadistic. Like, she was a sadist in her beatdown. She got pleasure out of beating her opponents in some way, but then almost pleasure out of getting beat down. Like, I don't want to say Tam took pleasure in beating Unagi, but like she took pleasure in the fact that Unagi couldn't like one up her. Like, whenever Tam would like beat Unagi down, she kind of strutted a little bit. Like, but Tam is so awesome at conveying body language, and this entire time it was domineering. Like, she was very confident. She knew she was going to win, and she knew Unagi didn't stand a chance. And whenever Unagi would try to come back, Tam would knock her back down, and she just started walking around just like, I mean, it is what it is. That was kind of the whole stance she had during this match, and I just fucking loved it. I mean, there was a point where Unagi's just elbowing Tam, and Tam is just arms out, just like, come on, keep going. And she's just like, and Tam's like, and then she just elbows her, and Unagi falls down. I'm like, this is perfect. It was such a different Tam, and we don't get this ever, and I don't want to see this all the time. I think this Tam should be unlocked very extremely rarely, but it worked in this match. And when Unagi came back, I desperately wanted to see her win because that's how great of a job Tam was doing in here. Oh my god. And then she got shut right back down. And then as it like we got deeper, the kickouts from Unagi just got weaker and weaker. And I'm like, if Tam wins this match, this will be like the Brock Lesnar versus John Cena of Stardom. Like, that's almost how bad Tam was beating her down. But then out of nowhere, once Tam was setting up for the Twilight Dream, Unagi kind of deadlifted. And I can't say out of nowhere because it was like there was some lead in where Unagi was starting to come back, but it seemed like it was almost out of nowhere. Like she deadweighted herself, so Tam had to try to lift her up, which Tam almost derobed her the way she pulled her trunks up. But she pulled her up, and Unagi used all of her energy to tuck her head down, grab her by the arms, and do this driver onto her, which I never seen her do, which was crazy, and got the 3 count, and it just shocked the hell out of me. And I don't want to say I was disappointed by the end, but it was just kind of out of nowhere. Like, it seemed like the way she got beat down, for her to just kind of get that one move and that was it. It just kind of it didn't really sink in my head as to why that spot, that moment just ended the match. In my opinion, my assessment of this match. But overall, I enjoyed the hell out of it. If the finish were not the way it was, I would have given this a 9.5 out of 10, but I'm going to give it still a solid 9 out of 10. I recommend this match highly because this is a different match that I think nobody would have saw coming from Tam or Unagi, and I highly recommend it. Definitely Unagi's one of her best performances. I can't say her best match, but definitely one of her best performances so far. From there, we made our way into another Blue Stars match. We had Siori versus Sayakamatani. I must say, coming off the last match, going into this one, I had maybe too high expectations because this match was really good, but it wasn't as great as I expected it to be. There were a lot of strikes. This is a very strike-heavy match, as you would expect from a Siori match. I mean, the girl literally comes from UFC. She's bred to just literally take beatings all the time. Sayakamatani, she was very grounded in this match, did not do a lot of high flying. I think she was really trying to show up Syuri in a way and show that she can go toe to toe with her at her own, class, at her own pace, which really did not work. It was slaps galore, it was kicks galore. It was really good. I can't really say too much deep about this match because as it was going and all the slaps and whatnot, I was interested, but then I was kind of like, because I felt like I had a lot of my high from the last match that I can kind of tone down a bit, because that's the thing that happens when you have match, great match, is that there's almost no breathing room, so it's like you kind of have to find spots to kind of take a breath, because when you have 2 great back matches, that's kind of what happens. And this is the match where I was kind of tuning in and out of a little bit, but I still enjoyed it greatly. Really good action, and Siori was the one who got the win in here with her own drive. There were so many goddamn drivers on the show, and I wish I knew the name of each and every single one, but I don't. I have to look into it. But she went with her driver, and she got the pin. Siori got her 2 points. Listen, Siori's in it to win it. She's my pick to win the tournament. She's gonna win. This is the catalyst. This is the show. She's hitting for that 20-0 victory in this block. I'm ready for it. We then got into our co-main events of the evening. Momo Watanabe versus Mayu Iwatani, representing Red Stars. I need y'all to do me a favor and go watch Momo's entrance from this match. It went hard for no reason. I think it was just the camera work or whatever it was. She came in here and I'm like, Momo means business right now, and I'm ready for it. And she did. We saw old Momo back in effect here, at least in my opinion, because this girl was dealing in them kicks. She had that straight stoic face that we've seen and loved from her in her 2019-2018 battles as the Wonder of Stardom champion. And Mayu Iwatani, she's just amazing. I can't even say enough great things about her. She was an awesome star in this match and really the aggressor. My only nitpick is that this match was definitely the most lengthy. I feel like it didn't need to go as long as it did. And I understand why they did. You know, it's Momo and Mayu. They've had their fair share of matches in the past. They had a great match last year in 2020. They had a really great one that people tend to underrate a lot in 2019 5-star Grand Prix. They had a really good one in 2018. So like, this is, I think they're maybe their sixth match, something like that. And I can't say it was the best one it had, but god damn it, I can't say it wasn't great as well. Just another great match in this tournament. And Momo won, which shocked the hell out of me because she's been on such a losing streak. But she hit her Peach Sunrise onto Mayu, rolled that Peach Sunrise into this Peach Sunrise flipping slam. It was crazy, and she got the pin, and my jaw fell on the floor because Momo is like the eater of L's, and for one night only, we'll see how tomorrow goes, she was the eater of W's, and I couldn't be any happier for her. Like I said, another great match in here from the ladies of Stardom, but then we head into the main event of the evening. Utami Hayashishita, the World of Stardom champion, versus Maika, Blue Star Block. This was just a tremendous way to end out the show. Just an awesome battle from these two women. Definitely a bit of the... Utami is starting to develop this style where I feel like she watches a lot of New Japan matches. I feel like a lot of her matches have that Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, that slow build. I gotta start calling it the Utami Epics because her matches have that New Japan feel to it. And I feel like part of me kind of doesn't like it, but then part of me likes it because it's like it feels more different than most of the matches on the card. And it's in a good way because Maika came in here and she pulled out her stuff. She was focusing on Utami's arm. Utami was selling it so well. Utami had her power game, trying to throw Maika around, but Maika wasn't having it, doing her kicks and whatnot. It was great action in here. Maika, she really impressed the hell out of me in here. I've seen her have matches before that I really enjoyed, but this one was her best one yet. Like, bar none, her best match yet. As towards the end of this match, she had Utami locked in a sleeper hold. And Utami is just such a great seller. I legitimately thought this girl passed that at one point, but she's fighting. And she gets her up and she slams her back. And there's this awesome moment where she starts to sit up, and then it seems like Maika was kind of knocked out, and then almost like Jason Voorhees from the fucking Camp Lake whatever, she rises up and just reapplies the sleeper as fast as she can. It was so awesome. It was so little, but it was so awesome. And then she's struggling, and then this girl like basically almost passes out, but she makes the rope just in the nick of time, and Maika just gets up with all of her might, power lifts this woman off the ground, and hits another driver city tonight. Hits a driver onto Utami and gets the 3 count. Maika pinned Utami Hayashishita. I was on the floor because I did not see this coming. Maika is really improving a lot day by day, but I did not expect her to be the one to beat Utami because I got this. Credit to Peps Wrestling on Twitter. He's a big Maika stan, but hey, he came through with the fact tonight. This was Utami's first singles loss since 5-star Grand Prix last year. So she hasn't lost a match in almost a calendar year. And that calendar year she lost that first match to in the 5-star Grand Prix was Maika. So this is Maika's second consecutive victory over Utami. Now, mind you, when Maika beat Utami in 5-star Grand Prix, that led into their match at this year's 10-year anniversary where Maika and Utami had a rematch, and then Utami beat her. So now this is her second time beating Utami. So one could say she's warranted for a future championship match, and when it happens, I don't think Maika's beating her then either. But it has me really excited for Maika and Siori going into tomorrow's show because I heard great things about it. Now, technically, this show already happened today, but I'm not going to watch it until tomorrow. So we have 2 days worth of content coming to you guys. But this match was amazing as well. I don't really like as a match it was better than Tam vs Unagi, but personally I like Tam vs Unagi more because of the story that was told. But this is still a match and a night worthy caliber match. I would give this a 9 out of 10 as well. And that was your 5-star Grand Prix 2021 review for day 1. What did you guys think? Comment down below, let your boy know. Let's get this video to 35 likes for day 2 review. That is it for me. I'm gonna head up out of here. I love you as always, and I will see you guys later. Peace out, guys.